Well, I'd like to thank everybody for coming out every week and watching. Not that we're getting a ton of views, but I can tell my family and everybody's watching it, which is fantastic. So we'll give you a run around of the property today and sort of give everybody a good look of what we're always dealing with here. Right now I'm standing out back behind the barn here, and this is where our walking path is out the back, down to that away. If you're following me on Instagram or TikTok, you've seen the trail. In recent videos here, the area I'm walking up into now, we cleaned all this out to put our wood in here. It's a lot of work, and what we did do in the process here is I sort of messed up. Let me flip you guys around. All right, so now that I got you guys flipped around here, you guys will be able to see. Because we just jammed all this up in here with a machine, there's a lot of sticks in there, and there's a lot of cleanup to do in there. So instead of doing that continuously, stack of wood looks fantastic. I've been slowly coming out here every day, and I trim a couple trees down, and I burn it here in the burn pile. Keeps the smoke in here, keeps the bugs out, which is really nice. The goal with the entire forest here, which is about 1.5 acres, and then the field out front, which has been growing into a forest, is another acre, just under 1 acre. We want to cut all the crap trees out here. There's a lot of like crappy trees right in here. Not sure what they are. They grow like weeds, to be honest with you. We're gonna get rid of all of them. We're gonna keep all the nice trees that are in here, and we're gonna cut everything up underneath by about 10 feet. We're gonna level the ground. We're gonna plant grass, and we're gonna cut underneath the whole whole forest with grass all the time. It's the way we like it. Our enchanted forest on the other side, which we're going to get to there, has already been done. Obviously, it was a much smaller forest than this. I think it consists of 51 trees. But let's go for a walk here, and we'll take you guys over for a walk out by the barn. We'll go in the barn, check it out. The barn's not what we want it to be. We've basically just moved in, and we've just moved into what was here. We did do some cutting in here because we had to fit the four-wheelers in here. I want to keep everything inside, keep it locked up at night. This is where the piggies are. They're cute little guys. What's going on, guys? They're starting to get big. So one of them in there has got to be 75 pounds by now. The other two are a little bit smaller. But anyways, yeah, we won't even go in here. I have all my tools jammed in here. It's just a section of the barn that's closed off. It's all going to be ripped out, and we're going to redo it and turn it actually into a better barn, to be honest with you. More functional as a barn instead of a half garage shop type thing. But down here, this was garbage. You couldn't get in here for the life of you. We have moved some big rocks that were in here and put them down there, and this will eventually all be in here. Beautifully cut grass. It'll go up around here. This is the back of the pasture in here, and the grass will scoop all the way around. It'll be a sort of where we are here. You'll walk out here, and this is going to be the pasture land for the cows. A lot of these trees are going to come out, but a lot of them are going to stay at the same time. I don't think it's necessary to rip down all the trees. Well, obviously we're going to clean up around them like we did with these trees over here. All the trees on the property need to be, as far as I'm concerned, all of them need to be cut up, so you can cut grass underneath them, which you can put soil around them, put the roots up. It's a lot of work. We moved our fire pit over here last night. We set it up over here. Fits my grill perfectly for cooking, because we like cooking. And then wait to sit up over here on the hill and take a look at the mountains over here as we're cooking and hanging out and having a few drinks. We put some lights in the forest in here because we're going to have a walking path down here. You can't see the lights right now because there are those super tiny little lights. Look fantastic at night. We did run out. We ordered another 2 sets to finish the trail where we're in right now. This will be just the walking trail down here. We're going to get some pea gravel and stuff and make it so it stays as a trail. Basically, it's just a cool little corner here we have. Like I said, there's 51 trees in there all together. It's right beside the house here. I'm not gonna plant grass seed, then we're gonna keep everything cut down. That's about it. But there's a lot of grass cutting on here. We can go without cutting grass in an area. We're gonna go with it. So we'll head back down here. Again, this is where I am now. It's probably pasture land in the end. We're gonna fence this off. Throw 1 cow in here. It's going to be about 1 acre of pasture for them, 1 acre and a bit, which would be good for them to eat grass-fed beef. Obviously, we're going to give them a few other things here and there. I'll come up here again. But if you look, what I've been doing here, I've actually been spraying this. Just got sprayed for the first time the other day. There's big birds here all around this place. They make crazy noises. Anyways, we keep it cut. We're going to spray it. We're going to get rid of all the weeds, and then when the time comes, we'll put the fence in. And we will move forward with just letting it grow and letting the cow just come in and do its thing. Again, we will keep a nice walking path all the way around. Now in here you can see I haven't cleaned this up yet. This is one of the areas I haven't got to. It's down here by this building, which I'll take you guys inside. We'll go take a quick little look at it here. Again, I'm just keeping everything cut in here. None of this has been sprayed. It has been grass seeded once. I like to get the grass seed up and rolling before we do any spraying. Obviously, it'll hurt the seed a little bit, but I can see it is starting to peak up here. All the little pieces of grass seed in the middle. So it might be time to spray it now. We still have a big pile to burn in here, and it's one of our, it is the last big pile I have laying around to be burned. And we're gonna get to it. I like burning actually on rainy days now, so nobody complains, especially these big fires. I don't want to be responsible for one of these fires going up and, you know, I'd be all over the news because I lit a fire. Redneck in New Brunswick lights fire. Hides from police in his room while crying. So this building, let's talk about this building. What we're thinking of doing, we don't know. 3 garage doors on this side, 3 bays. They'd be 12 by 18. 12 by 18, 3 self-storage units. Maybe. We don't know. I was going to turn it into a little Airbnb or a small house and rent it. It needs quite a bit of work, but it would be easy. You know, steel the whole outside of it, re-steel the roof, 2 partition walls on the inside, 3 garage doors on this end, and you know, maybe $150, $160 a month for storage, self-storage. And it would just fence off the area down here. Obviously, we'd make the building look a lot better than that. It doesn't look like a horror story or something. While we're here, guys, these are the big raspberries. I did cut them all down with the lawnmower first, so I don't even see a raspberry on there. They're growing back up because, well, they're like weeds, you can't kill them. But these are the big, massive raspberries that were planted here by the owner. So let's continue. Right here there's a septic system right there. Old pine septic system. He came and told me to actually see me in here with the machine moving everything around, and the machine's really not that heavy, but we're gonna dig that up and get rid of it. We'll fill it in. That's the old pine one, so there's no leach bed to that. Your fluid just went in there, and up here your water doesn't come to the top of the ground. If you're in southern Ontario, when your leach bed fills up with water, your leach bed, the water evaporates up through the ground. Here in New Brunswick, because we're in such sandy, rocky land. Like I'm telling you, you can't even get a hose to run on the ground and get a puddle in it. The water just disappears. So they put them in these cedar boxes. And it's just a big cedar box. That is a waste box. They last for 50 years. When you're done with it, you break the top off, fill it in as much soil as you can, and that's it. Because the water drains down. I'm sure some of it does evaporate up, but mostly here water goes down and just gone into the ground like you wouldn't believe. Very different from what we're used to. But if you see in here, this is where we come around here. This all has to come out of here, all this junk that's in here. But the driveway will come in here for this place, come right around here in front of us, around the side back here, and then would be a fenced off area. And really by doing it this way, it gives us opportunity for more revenue in the future, because if we do turn that into a small storage unit slash something, it's far enough away from the house. Like I'm, 150 or 200, 300 feet away from where our house is, like, or even further. If we were to turn that in with 3 bay doors on this side and 3 self-storage units, people come in and do their own self-storage, and then really in the end, you could almost put another building right in there and put another 5 or 6 in, if it turns out to be working okay. If not, in the end, the building's fixed up at least, which makes me feel good. So I don't want to just leave it sitting there. It needs a roof on it bad. If we keep leaving it there, it's just going to fall down. No, there's not much in it. Let's go take a look. We'll go take a look inside of here. It has the Primo security system on it right here. You gotta be pretty big to move that thing. Last time I was in here, big raccoon. Milo, get in here with me. Okay, see this? New kids on the block. Woohoo! So anyway, see, it's not horrible in here. And now that we're in here, the building itself from the outside looks crooked. I feel like you see here, it is sort of leaning a little like this. It's nothing a bunch of ratchet straps and a tractor pushing on it wouldn't do. You can see here at the front wall comes up, and then that sort of goes out a bit. A lot. Anyways, it's not bad. It's slatted with wood. That's why it hasn't fallen down yet, let's be honest. Let me give you guys a little bit bigger view here on oops, sorry. I guess I can't do it because I'm not on that thing. Anyways, it's workable. It's here. The bottoms aren't rotted out, even though it sits on top of the soil. I would like to say the whole building does slant to the back, but 3 bays in here. Okay, we will lift up this at the top because it does have a platform up there that is definitely not structured well, because it has 2x4s running a 20-foot length. And the 2x4s are, well, this isn't, guys, don't do this. Join 2x4s in the middle. Like, not safe at all. Anyways, this would have to come down. We'd obviously have to have some sort of structure in here that holds the walls in. Wall ties, we'll call those, because the rafters are not made like a rafter. It's just a roof peak. So, some sort of wall ties in here, stuff like that to hold it together. But I really think if you can't get a piece that goes all the way along, bad option right there. It's the weakest link. I do see what he's done with the nails. That's actually, I've built doors where you pound the nails all the way through the door, and then you bend over the nails on the backside to tighten everything up. That's hell, but that's not how you build. Anyways, a lot of work in here, a ton, regardless of what we end up deciding to do in here. When we get down here, I'm sure we'll do a full video on it for everybody and allow everybody to, I don't know, give us your comments. What do you think we should do with this thing, guys? This is a building that sits really far away from our house. I've thought about severing the land. I've thought about turning this into an Airbnb, even though it's too big. What I'd have to do is rip it down and build. I just like to put in 250 square foot places for people to stay, to be honest with you. With having a septic here, and right down here there's a well as well by this. This has its own well on it as well. So that would allow us to give water, and it has full electricity hooked up here from the street. So anyways, there's lots of options that are here. Severing the lot and selling it with the building on it the way the building is. wouldn't be profitable enough if you ask me. Not even remotely profitable enough. Well, you know, it might bring $25,000 maybe an acre of land with a building on it, with already having an electrical service, already having a well, and already having a cedar box in the ground that would have to be replaced. Anyways, coming up here through the front of the property, which is really nice. There's rolling hills here. Perfect for tobogganing for my kids when they get older. You can see down here, you couldn't see all these trees. We've cut them up. You see at the very end down there, you can see how the trees are all bushed in there. We've cut all these back already and cleaned up. I have the whippersnip in there, so it does look bad right now, but I did do the other side of the ditch that we're going to go up to in a minute. You can see always around here, the whole family's always up to something. My wife's watering the greenhouse right now. Riley's got a shovel and a wheelbarrow. He's putting in another garden out front for mommy. A lot of dead trees in here. Again, needs to be whippersnipped. We've cleaned up a lot. My wife painted the 9349 on there and painted the box and put the numbers on there. It looks really good. That 3 looks like it's sagging though. And it wasn't like that earlier, so maybe it's been knocked. This thing here. There's one on the road up there. What are you doing? That's already got one. Just plant the marigolds around it. And same with this one here. Like, okay, we'll just clean up around it. That's it. I mostly wanted to see in the front of the house there, right where the electrical goes in. I wanted that cleaned up there. Although there's going to be an extension there and a deck and everything, that needs to be cleaned up. Anyways, Mama's always got the kids doing something. I'm going to pick this up off the road. Stay, Milo. This car's like, that guy's videotaping us. It was a bad throw on this guy's part. I do keep these though because they, anyways, let's go back down to the property here. I keep them for the winter time. And this thing here, I grabbed this with the lawnmower the other day. It looks like one of those ties from a, now the lawnmower didn't, it just hooked on the lawnmower, got lucky. Didn't get all caught up in the blades, thank goodness. But I gotta come, the thing feels like it's gonna come right out of there. I got off the lawnmower and tried for like 10 minutes, I didn't, but it really feels loose now. Anyways, let's keep going for a walk here. See, there's a rock I hit with the lawnmower the other day. I had to pull it to the ground too. They're not pebbles around here. They're big rocks. So anyways, let's keep going here on our mission. So this is one of the ditches that we keep cut. Obviously all the ditches we keep cut. This is the one that I cut yesterday and it's ready to go. I'm gonna cut the other one later on today. I cut grass for 5 hours yesterday, the whole property plus a whole bunch of weed eating. I try not to do that. I like to spread it out and make my life a little bit easier sometimes. I did run out of gas up there, so you can see I stopped right there. But I was so wore out, and it was 30 something degrees yesterday, and it was sweat was stinging my eyes, and everything was absolutely ridiculous. So anyways, this is one of the fields that I'm going to call the front field, which isn't a field anymore. It basically started to turn into a forest. Now, as my brother pointed out in one of my TikToks the other day, I need to trim up around those trees and clean it up so the lawnmower's not touching them. I just haven't got out here yet. There's just so much to do. But anyways, it is looking way nicer. We like to keep it looking nice, like the lines in the front yard. We are going to slowly, again, this is the back side of the forest of what we talked about earlier. We're going to trim all this so we can drive underneath it. A lot of these small little shrubbery trees and stuff are going to come out, and we're going to keep these trees. I believe those are ash trees. But we're going to keep a bunch of different varieties of trees. Any nice trees, though, these things that grow like this, they're coming out big time. We'll wrap a chain around that and rip them right out. But we're just, you got to do it small bits at a time. If not, you make a mess. Then you got to clean up the mess. Then when you're cleaning, it's just, you got to, there's so much to do up here, guys. It's awesome. I'm having fun. As you can see, we're definitely starting to move forward with everything, and we're definitely starting to get stuff cleaned up. So yeah, so I cut all this up in here. And again, we're gonna turn this into, I'm gonna call it Enchanted Forest 2. We want this set up to drive through with the lawnmower and cut underneath everything. And this is where the forest gets really good in here. We definitely have some nice big trees in here. I own back, goes back further than you think, to be honest with you. When you find the stake way out of the road there, even when the other owner came, it was way in there when we thought. And I have it striked out on my phone on that app. But it's pretty far back up in there. There's a hill in there, and it sits on the edge of that hill and then comes back in that way. Anyways, we'll it's in there. So here you go. This is the spring. Bluey water because it's obviously been dug out and it's been dug down to clay. As far as I've seen, I've only been here a couple months, it stays full. Apparently it does dry up in the summertime, which I'm not a fan of. We may have to do something about that. But way back there, that's you know what, I was gonna go for a walk through the forest. There's a lot of bugs, we won't. But yeah, if you keep going straight back through there and hang a ralph, you'll end up coming way back into where I have my wood stacked and everything in there. And this is that acre and a tiny bit of forest. And this would be the front field, which we're gonna call the eventual forest, because it's gonna turn into that way. But every tree that's out here, like 2 trees like this, will not be next to each other, because whatever tree is left out here, my lawnmower has to drive around it. So, and see, there's still stuff to clean up. There's trees laying everywhere and that. There's another one of those rocks. So that was a rock with an anthill on it. And if I get it just right yesterday with the lawnmower, just right, I was able to push the rock out of the hole. I just haven't came back and picked it up yet. Another down tree over here. I believe a lot of the down trees were just sort of cut or thrown here, to be honest with you. These trees here, I believe, are the trees that were out the side of the property here in between, and they cut them off and just dragged them out here. A lot of stuff just laid around this property when we moved in, a lot. That's why there was no filming really for the beginning part of what we were doing. Sorry, I'm waving bugs around from in front of me here. See, so we're coming back around the forest here. You see the pond was up in there, or the spring, as you call it. So it's not an actual full tour of the entire property, but it is a tour of mostly about what's going on around here. I'd like to say I do miss my parents because they're back in Ontario. But other than that, other than missing my family, the slowed down life, the no busy traffic. I used to see what a traffic jam looks like in Florenceville. Yeah, it is very relaxed. It is very nice. I am probably about to go back to work here just because it has routine to somebody's life. Here you go, you guys get a tiny little view. Another one of my messy L-shaped garages I have in here, and I just have stuff jammed in here right now because we got no choice. Best machine ever, boys. Big Red 200 SE. Thing starts like every day, no matter what you did to it the day prior. So anyways, so guys, there's a walk around the property. Hopefully it gave you a good idea of what it looks like, I guess. I'm getting excited for my parents to come down. We're definitely doing some renovating. I'd like to do a walk through in the house with you. But yeah, maybe we should. Nah, we'll save that for next time. This is a yard one. The upstairs, 3 bedrooms are done. I have a few pieces of trim to put in the hallway upstairs, which is done. The stairwell, which is done, needs a few little touch-ups, and we're working on that. Painted the stairs last night, 1 a.m. in the morning. And we're getting ready to show everybody up there. There's also 2 more bedrooms going in up there. And after those, and a bathroom. So it'll be 5 bedrooms upstairs, the 1 bedroom downstairs. The reason we're putting the other one upstairs, which is they're going to be very decent sized, is because we want the space downstairs. The downstairs is fairly small because they put a bedroom in down here. No, I don't like sleeping on the main floor anyways. So we're all gonna go upstairs. We'll all be happy there'll be a bathroom there, so you don't have to run downstairs in the middle of the night to go to the washroom. Sorry, I'm standing here watching my boy over there. Putting a guard in there. I guess I'm gonna be sent out for more black mulch. But as you can see, house behind me here, guys, has a steel cladding on it. We're gonna flip the camera back around here for you. All right, here we are, we're back. The house has a steel cladding on it. This is pretty funny, actually. See, we can't end this video yet because I don't know what happened here. I don't know if a child got a hold of a nail gun. Look at the nails that are in there. Look at the nail holes of nails that have fallen out. And all this is gonna come off, obviously, and we're gonna redo the whole outside of this house. But look at this, that's not just in one spot. Look at the nails. Like, definitely a kid got a nail gun, maybe, and 50 rolls of shingle nails. I don't understand the purpose of it. Were they filling holes, or were they, like, did somebody shoot with a pellet gun and then they wanted to fill holes, or were they trying to tighten it up the best they could? Like, it's not the greatest, don't get me wrong. As an outside wrap, you guys can see my frustrations. But anyway, yes, guys, the outside of this house is gonna be redone. The roof is gonna be redone. It's getting a wraparound deck on the whole thing here. Why? Because there's really no choice. I had a 2,000 square foot deck in my backyard at our last place. And I have a table that sits out in the sun with no umbrella because it's so windy up here on the mountain that it blew off and damaged the other day. So it's time. We're just about started. I drew up plans last night for my post in the back. And outdoor living's coming, and we're gonna finish the back of the house, hopefully this summer. The goal is to have a place to sit out here before the end of the summer. Until then, guys, again, thanks for watching. I'm gonna keep making videos. I actually enjoy doing it. I enjoy the editing. Yeah, keep coming, keep watching, keep you know, tell your people at work, tell your friends, your family, tell them to subscribe. They don't even have to watch, just subscribe. Everybody subscribe. I was coming up to see Riley and he's like, screw this, I'm out of here. All the rakes over where the no, not with the rocks, I know.
I asked Mom for like the shovel to plant the things in. She said she doesn't have one, but I know I can. Like one of those really tiny shovels.
Oh, well, there's one beside the four-wheeler in the garage, but it doesn't have a handle on it. That rake that's right in the door there will help you. All right, we're back. Anyways, guys, keep watching, okay? Come hang out with me and my family, have some adventures. I'm gonna keep filming. Hopefully the mic worked on this one. If it didn't work, I'm sorry. My mom's been complaining she can't hear me and my voice is in and out. I swore a couple times. She gave me crap for that. Yeah. Anyways, thank you, everybody. Have a good week.